Hi, my name is George, and now I'm going to talk about the aims of traditional and progressive education and have a deep discussion of them. The aim of traditional and progressive education, of course, is to enable students to receive more knowledge and learn more in less time, but their parenting style is very different. First of all, traditional education emphasizes the teacher centered learning process, no matter right or wrong. The knowledge taught by teacher is always correct, and students should not have any doubt about it. This will lead to the emergence of a proud and authoritative teacher in the traditional education model and some passive receivers of knowledge who have no emotional value and have no interest in learning. But at the same time, this kind of education mode often makes students learn faster and achieve higher results. In progressive education, students' emotions are taken care of and their emotions are more important than learning. Students are the main body of this education model and they are active explorers. This model encourages students to take the initiative to learn and rather than being forced to accept the knowledge passed on by teachers. However, the disadvantage of this model is that students tend to be free and loose due to the lack of control, so that they gradually forget to learn in the process of the entertainment. And according to the author Shore, students are naturally active learners, not passive. Traditional classrooms may cause students to lose confidence, and their curiosity and social skills are gradually eroded by the traditional teaching model. At this time, the cheerful and active atmosphere in the classroom is particularly important. Under the progressive model, the purpose of education is not only to make students learn, but more importantly, to make students interested in learning and actively fall in love with learning. Students' experiences at their own accumulated experience are often far more important than what they learn in school. And according to Dr. Dewey, true education comes from experience, and experience is not the same as education. Students are more interested when their experience is related to what they are learning, and what they are learning is easier. Similarly, when teachers gain experience, they no longer blindly teach according to their own experience, but first analyze students and teach students according to their ability. Teachers will also find more shortcomings of students and themselves according to the positive feedback of students. So, as to make continuous changes and motivation innovations, forming a virtuous circle which is beneficial to both teachers and students. And now I'm going to talk about my own experiences in high school. Before I went to college, I had a traditional education. Our model is also like what I reintroduced. The classroom is boring, and students are like a group of emotionless learning tools. Whether we like it or not, the teacher's request is a comment and we are conveyed. There's no room for discussion, we must do. And the teacher is also one-sided educating us. We have no right to question, let alone the opportunity to show ourselves. I clearly remember that in high school math class, when the teacher was talking about solid geometry, she suddenly got stuck because she did not remember a knowledge point clearly, and then asked us to look at the problem first while the teacher thought about it on the platform alone. And at this time, our classmates began to discuss quietly in private. She became directly angry and began to scold those who laughed at her, and along with us, felt that if we had mastered everything well, she would not need to share this knowledge. At that time, the atmosphere of the whole class became tense, and then we became more inhibited in class and did not dare to say a word. This is a typical example of traditional education. And I want to say, first of all, emotional value aside, students and teachers are equal. According to Dr. Fear, the students and teachers are equal. It is not only students who need to learn from teachers, but also teachers who need to learn from our students. There were things the students know that the teachers doesn't. Students and teachers should be complementary and complement each other. At this time, people will think that progressive education is so good, but what progressive education lacks is teacher control. Teachers may think too much about students' feelings, leading to the failure to manage the whole class. Even if students do something illegal, they will turn to a blind eye. On the other hand, teacher voice represents a basis in authority that can provide knowledge and forms of self-understanding, allowing students to develop the power of critical consciousness. At the same time, regardless of how politically or ideologically correct a teacher may be, his or her voice can be destructive for students if it is imposed on them, or if it is used to silence them. This is according to Dr. Girox. So I think teachers should respect students, pay attention to students' personal feelings, and at the same time appropriately establish their own authority to manage the classroom so that the students can show themselves without being too free. And according to Dr. Tate, every society is made up of a unique individual. We are different in front of everyone. As for our development, I hope we can be confident enough to show the unique side of each person. In school education, we should receive more progressive education so we can respect everyone's freedom more. The same is true in society, where each of us is tolerant enough to respect each other's strengths and weaknesses and learn from others. That's all. Thank you.